So I started this a couple minutes ago, but had to restart my computer because I forgot to do that before starting stream, and my computer went kaboom. So yes, long story short is we're writing an OLAP database in Java. This is something that I've written already in PHP. Pieces of it have been written in JavaScript, but I'm trash at Java and I'd like to get better at Java. Plus, I think this project would highly benefit from being written in Java because we can take advantage of threading and other various pieces that PHP cannot do. This project is going to contain many things. It's going to be a multimodal database, so it's going to support SQL, still structured stuff, NoSQL, sort of just JSON-L files. Eventually, I'm going to bring in a graph database paradigm into the whole mix. So it's going to be a one-size-fits-all solution for many, many things. I think the easiest is to start with the NoSQL. I'm not going to redo the stream where I set up the initial folder structure, but essentially I'm using Maven. And what we're about to do is we're about to test our first insert. And essentially when we go to our insert, we're just writing, we're actually going to do this. Can you do, you know what? Let's see how to do string interpolation in Java. Let's figure out how to do string interpolation. Yeah. I really need to tell ChatGPT that, like, just do it and stop talking about it. So it doesn't have it or what? Yeah, so okay, fine. We're going to do concatenation plus plus, and then we're going to say here table. We're going to call this table name, just to be. So that means we're about to write into test 0, we're about to write the record meow. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're adding a file writer. We're doing a buffer writer. Not sure why we need this, but eventually we'll figure all of this out. And a print writer. We are then, so into the print writer, we're printing a line, and then we're saying that we printed this line. Utils is our own thing we've written. Some kind of, it's pretty interesting. Okay, so I think this creates the file. This is what's actually, add comments here why exactly we need to use 3 classes to achieve putting something in a file. I'm sure there's good reasons for it, but it does seem a little bit silly that we have to do all 3. Anyways, let's try writing our first record. So we're going to pop here. Since it's Maven, we can just click Run Java. Boom, we've apparently written the line. We need to refresh our friend, test 0, and we have meow again. Now what we're going to do here is we're actually going to write a couple lines. Let's see what happens here. And once again, we're going to run our project. Lovely. We've written a bunch of lines. We go to test 0. Boom. We've created these lines. Amazing. We're going to get rid of our debug. And what we're actually going to do is, if it's a success, we're going to return. Nah, we're not going to have any returns for now. No returns. Cool. Let's focus on our read. So, lovely. Let's focus on our read. Now, actually, we'll start with this. So now, in our read, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new empty list of strings. So we're going to say list of strings is actually, we're going to call it records. And we're going to say that we want a new array list. Amazing. Now I'm assuming it's going to scream at me for not having either one of these bad boys. So we're going to fix up our issues here. Cool. Now, we're going to write a little try catch block. So we're going to do a try catch. And what we're going to do here is we want an IO exception, which is going to be an E. And we're going to say system.error.print line, and we're going to say, uh-oh. Now, instead of our try catch, what we're actually going to do is we're going to say we want essentially a reader, which is actually going to be a new buffer reader. Amazing. We want a new buffer reader, and we're taking this from our very good friend, Mr. GPT. So we're going to see what this guy is actually doing. Yeah, so here's we want our buffer reader. So buffer reader, which is a new reader, and we want a new file reader where our file, whoa, what did I just do there? Where our file path is going to be this. So we're actually going to say string file path equals all of this. Very nice. And we toss all of this into our try catch block. Amazing. Now it's not going to be very happy with us for not having a file reader. We're going to remove this. Sweet. So here it is inside of our try catch block. And what does Mr. GPT or Mrs. suggest that we do afterwards? We're going to paste this in, but then we're going to write it. So we're instantiating a new string. What we're doing then is we're saying while, and I'm curious why we're not using a string builder here, but we'll see. So we're saying while line equals reader dot read line, and we're saying does not equal null. So essentially, while we have lines, and what we're going to do, since records is a list, we can say records dot add, and we're going to add line. Lovely. So we've written our little block here, and I think what we want to do, since we've written our little pp method already, once we're successful, we're going to say utils. Sorry, I do know how to spell. utils.pp records. Amazing. Let's see if we can run our Java project from here, or do I have to? Cool, and okay, no problem, because we just did another write. And here we're going to say db.read, and what we want is we want to read from the test0 table. Cancel, we do not want to paste that. And we did call it read, right? Not this again. For some reason, this file has a hard time. Build failed. No method type read, which is highly false. Yeah, and I guess it's complaining because yeah, now that's gonna work. Cool. Look at all this advantage from compile. Boom. Meow 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 meow. Holy shit. So we have our very basic read and write. We have our very basic read and write. So I think what we could do here, is I'm almost tempted to leave this as is, because this is sort of our reader and writer for individual records, where we don't care what they are. Because now I can, for example, say, well, no, because we are casting that it has to be a string. So maybe this is an interesting approach to reading and writing just single records. But what we want to do, can you method overload in Java? Does Java have method overloading? Yeah. So overloading is where I can redefine a method called insert again, but considering I can enter different input parameters, so instead of record being a string, I can have record be a map, and that would result in something different. So let's actually try that. We're going to create an insert method, which is going to be like, hey, don't do that. This is crazy. And we're going to say we want a map. we want a map, and let me see. I guess what we want to do is we want to put, yeah, we want a map. We want a map, which is of type string to something like an object. I don't know. We're going to see what this does. And I don't want a hash map. So, okay, I'll explain what I'm trying to do. I'm going to yoink some other code that I've done here. I'm going to put this here, and we're going to start figuring out what I'm trying to do. So instead of calling this schema, column details. So essentially, I want a JSON. So I don't think I need to do this. But I think a hash map is gonna, yeah, string. So, okay. Let me think here. I don't wanna, yeah, let's not do this. Let's also not read anything. And let's say that we're gonna have a record. And we're gonna call this record. So, yeah, and it's true. You know what? In a JSON, the key has to be unique. So we're going to call this record. And we're going to say record. And here we're going to put key is ID. And the value is going to be ABC123. Now we're going to say ID is that. Here we're going to say maybe something like event. And we're going to call this a view. Then we're going to say type is, home. Maybe we're viewing the home. And then let's do something, yeah, maybe that's enough. So we're going to have this map. And let's actually print it, see what it looks like, utils.pp record. And let's just see what we're working with here. And I guess we've never imported pp here. No problem. No problem. Cool. Let's run our little, I need to know what the command is. Okay, sweet. So here's our little record. And what we want to do now is we're going to try to db.insert. We're going to call this test1, and we're going to put in the record. Now, I think this is going to freak out, because it's like, hey, dude, we don't know what we're doing here. What are you talking about? But we're going to say, hey, chill out, because what we actually want is string. And now I think our friend's going to stop freaking out. Aha. Aha. Cool. So, first things first is we kind of want to convert our record into, give me a second, I do know words, I'm reading something else. We want to convert our record into a JSON. And I think the way that we're going to do this, so let me look where I use JSON. So this is from JSON. Let's try something. We are going to, in our POM file, we're going to bring in a little package here that is very useful, that can help us read and write JSONs. So we go to our dependencies, we're going to pop this in, and we're going to say always. If I modify the POM file, please go ahead and do that. Now, in our insert, we're going to say JSON, yes, and please, we're going to say, sorry, we're going to go here. I'm going to try my best to figure out how to do this. New JSON to JSON. So we're going to say new, and by the way, new JSON dot to JSON, and we put in the record. And what kind of object are we going to have as a result? We're going to say JSON item or line. It's probably because that's capital. Let's see, type mismatch, convert. Ooh, it's going to give me a stringy boy. And we're going to do utils.pp, and then we're going to ask for the line. So let's find out what happens here. In our app.java, we just have our record.insert. So we're going to run, and I believe this is a string. So since this is a string, we can say char at, and we're going to say, let's take the 10th char, because that's only possible if we're inside a string land, and it's 1, which I guess is probably true. That's probably like 5-ish. Yeah, that's 10. Sweet. So we've done this now. We're going to serialize our record essentially, and we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're doing the exact same thing, but record now, instead of writing that, we're going to write, and actually check this out. Check this shit out. We're going to say insert, we're going to pass along the table name, and we're going to put line. Because technically now we should be able to use exactly the same method that takes in the string, and now we should be able to write with that. So we're going to run. It doesn't seem to have freaked out, which is good. We have our little record here. We're going to we are going to run our Java again, and we have our record here again. Now, I do have questions for how can I make a map with a mixed type. So what if I said object? If I said map of object, and here I tried to put a value of 10. Interesting. Okay, we're going to modify this to be object. And yeah, let's go. So maybe we'll keep the event as is. So event is going to be, what did I call it, view? And here we're going to say record.put, and we're going to say price is equal to 10. Let's try this. And we're going to insert into the same table. We're going to run our Java. I need a shortcut for this. And now we've actually, type event price. For some reason, price ended up going first, which is a little weird. Just a bit weird, but it works. It works. Now let's create our reader. Let's create our reader, which is actually going to read the line. Which is going to read the line. And what I think we're going to try to do is we're going to say try. And we're going to say new JSON.from from JSON. Sorry, new JSON dot from JSON. We pass in. Oh, interesting. So something I'm curious about. No, it's not from JSON. I guess that's not what we're trying to do. Dot. From JSON, JSON type, reader. We're gonna ask our little friend here, Mr. GPT. For each line, how do I determine whether the line is a string representation of a JSON? And if it is, I want the output to be placed into a map of string slash object and then added to records. Let's see what our friend says. But we're going to have to... Actually, we have no output types here. We have no output types here. And yeah, we are gonna have to have two different classes. Yeah, we have to JSON. Very cool. Interesting. So it's using something else. Should I be using this, or is the JSON package also something I can use for this? Let's find out. Oh shit. I just killed myself. There's sparkling water in here. Largely depends on your specific needs, specific limits, blah, 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 blah. It's going to show me the two. If I can keep it to one package, I prefer to keep it to one package. Dependencies breed. They result in more dependencies, and then it gets very difficult to do anything, if I'm honest. Google JSON. Yeah, let's see. Just show me the code. Yeah, from JSON and to JSON. Sorry. From JSON, JSON data map type. Let's try this. I kind of like what's going on here. So let's see what we're doing here. So essentially, it's going to be line. We're going to say type. I guess it's this. I guess I kind of hate this, if I'm honest. That's ugly as fudge. I haven't sworn yet. Okay, we're going back to the original. I like this more, actually. It looks cleaner. Look what we have here. Boom. We're not going to add anything here. All we're going to say is we're going to utils.pp the JSON. Now we do want to import JSON object, shoresies. And for some reason, remove argument to match. Yeah, sure. Parse the line into a JSON object. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, my guy. This seems correct. I don't know what it's yelling at me about. And then takes the JSON and does it to a map. Let's see what it did down here. Yeah, JSON object, we pass in a line. What is it upset about? What are you upset about? The constructor indicates that there might be an issue, library, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah. I'm dumb. It told me to add it into the POM file. And I was like, yeah, buddy. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, dude. Hundo percent. And then I didn't do it. Like all the people who say hundo. And for sure. Seek. Alright, sick. So holy shit. I mean, I'm gonna stop swearing, my bad. Okay. Now, I believe Where did this guy come from? Yeah, I feel like that's one. I feel like I must have clicked on something. New JSON. I'm gonna delete this because I think I messed something up here. We're gonna say JSON object. Aha, that's why. And did it save my Palm? Whatever. So you know what's bothering me? Normally, yeah, or JSON. Okay, we figured it out. Look, we're finally debugging Java without actual GPT. That's kind of sick. And what we want to do is we actually want to print the map. We're going to run our Java. Sweet. I didn't like anything that we... Oh, because we never read. We're going to say... We're going to read from test1. No, we don't want to map anything. My bad. Sweet. Why was the last record empty? Because I guess it takes the new line and tries to do something with it, which we're gonna have to prevent. We're gonna have to prevent this. How do we do that? If the map is empty, we're gonna ask the last line of the file due to the new line ends up creating an empty map. How to ensure that how to avoid this. I'm assuming like if map.empty or something. I guess I could just check if line is empty. Yeah, am I dumb? I could just say if line dot is empty or is empty, we continue. Let's try this. And we're gonna run our Java. What is GPT saying? Yeah, line.trim. Okay, I was close. If line.trim is empty, and we're gonna try that again. We still have that. Yeah, we should totally wrap everything in a try catch. So it's a bit annoying. If line.trim is empty, we're gonna say utils.pp yo. I need a shortcut for this. So we never enter here. So utils.pp line. Well, it's just going to give me an empty line. We never enter the dot is empty conditional. Why? Ha 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 ha. Okay, so yeah, we should, by the way, say line equals line dot trim. It's going to help us trim every line. Skip the insertion. Ensure that I am using a buffer reader. What is it saying? New. Okay, so it's gone even crazier. Alright, let's try this again. So we went even more ham, but it never seemed to have given a shit. And I guess we should stop trimming. Oh, that's super irritating. Super irritating, but screw it. Okay. What we're gonna do is... Oh, yo, Emma, what up? You just, tuning into some high-stakes Java code? Just kidding, I'm mostly just asking my best friend GPT over here for how to do anything. Heck yeah. Yeah. So we're writing a database from scratch. I've done it before in PHP, but that's the language I code in, and it's much, much simpler to do it in that language because it's more of a beginner-friendly language. And now we're writing in the real shit. So yay. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have many subclasses and classes, and I think what we should do is we should insert sort of like simple record, and then we should have object. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't think I'll ever just put straight up lines in there. So we're gonna yeah, we're gonna say it's always gonna be a map. So records, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be the same thing that we did on our import, which is gonna be a map of a string to an object. Yeah, we want this. Map of a string to an object, and it's gonna be a new map. Whoa. There's a new hash map. I assume it's hash map. Sweet. Okay, what do you not like? We've done this. We've done this. Do I need to import something? It's a little wild, but it's cool. Okay, so our insert, it's a map of a record of a blah, and we're actually going to steal the code from here, because we're never going to have just an insert record. Nice. And what we're doing here is line. We're going to be writing our line, not record. Cool. Now, what do you not like? We have a string to an object. And I guess what we want is like a list of... How do you do this? That's super ugly. Unchecked cast from hashmap object to list map. Let's find out. So I want a list that's going to be a map. Fix this line, please. Aha. New array list. Yeah, maybe it doesn't give a shit. Maybe we just say new array list. And then it's just going to be happy. And then here, records.add. Oh, yeah. We're good. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to say continue on the same line, because I think it's prettier. And we're going to pp the records. We're going to, okay, let's try running this. Please. Sick. That's fucking dope. And what if I said get, and then at index I don't know, 3. Whoa, that's not what I want to do. We want to run our Java again, and we should just get one record. So it's going to be the first one with price, I think. 0, 1, 2. I think we need to refresh this file. No, 0, 1, 2, 3. Boom. Okay, so we have our basic ass NoSQL functionality in place, which is kind of crazy because I'm way further than I thought I would be. I'm way further than I thought I would be. Sweet. Am I missing anything super critical here? Probably, well, yeah, I'm going to return the records. So we're actually going to call this, so we're going to say return records. It's going to start screaming at me, but instead of void, we're saying it is a list of a map of string and object. Right, and now it's cool. Now it's cool with me. Sweet. Okay, now, yeah, I have an idea. We can add some querying to this. So for now, this is like a full table scan. This is a full table scan, and it's just going to return all the records. Now I want to filter my records. That's an interesting idea. So I have my map here, right? I have my map here. And what I'm going to say is utils.pp map dot, and we're going to say event. No, not event. I made all the records the same, so it's a bit stupid. Map.event. I guess we say get. So how do you do this? How do you take from a map by key? Map dot get or index. How to read from index. How to, well, how to get value from map by index. Let's go, baby. Yo, what the? Oh, yeah, double quotes. God damn it. I do this so much. It's literally as simple as this. Cool. So now we just run our Java again. Run. Boom. We have view. Now, we're going to create something called our filters, and we're going to call them predicates, I think. Well, we'll create. So to write everything from scratch, we're going to say string, and then object, I guess, equals filter equals new filters. No, new filter, right? Because a hash map, I want a list of things. Yeah, it's a little annoying. I want like a list of key value pairs, which I think is the only way to do it. Filter equals new hash map, And what I want to say here is I'm going to say filter dot put. And we want to say that event equals home. Now we're also going to create a thing called a list of map of string of object called filters, and we're going to say new array list because I think that's all we really need to do here. And we don't have lists yet. Please give me lists. Please give me array lists. Thank you so much. And we're going to say filters dot put slash filter. Before we do that, I do want to create a new record where event is going to be, I don't know, apply, and type is going to be to a job. I worked in a job search engine for many years, so that's all I can think about. But we want to go insert this record. We're going to run. We're going to run. Cool. So now if we come here, we should have more records that have apply as well. Lovely. We come back to our app.java. Okay. Map of a string to an object. And what do you not like? This method put is undefined for type list map string object. I feel like you're fucking lying to me. Add. Oh, it's add. Oh shit, I'm fucking learning Java, baby. Utils.pp filters. Had a little Quebecois situation going on there. Nice. And so here's our filters. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna say, what if I have, yeah. I don't think there's a more efficient way. I want to be able to pass in an array. Well, actually, it might be stupid. Because I think if we think about our SQL query, in fact, you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to do a thing here called queries, and we're going to do test 0.meowql. That's going to be our language. So if you think about it, from test 1, where I don't think you ever have like event equals view, and then later you have and event, or it's always like this is the left and then it can be an in or it could be a something. So in fact, I think just having this map makes sense as is. I think just having this map makes sense as is. Filters. We're going to say where event, and the value in this case is going to be a string literal. We're going to keep it like that. So, nice. So what do we want here? So read is actually going to allow a thing called filters. Now, I'm going to say something along the lines of if filters.isEmpty, and I'm going to say if not filters.isEmpty, and what I'm going to do here is say Java for each loop over map clean way, traversal, list, or set. I really needed to tell iterate over keys only. That's not what I want. Yeah, this is what I want. I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want. I want a app. So, okay, for, I'm going to say filters.entry set. Right, and what did I have before? String integer, and it's going to be entry string object. Cool. So I think we don't need this. We're going to say run. And it never did dig. Oh, you know why? Because I never read anything. So that's going to be like, yo, what are you doing? You need to have some filters, my guy. And I'll be like, yeah, we're cool. There's some filters now. We're going to run. Boom. Key, home, home, dope. We're going to kill this quickly. Okay. So now, and by the way, if I do that and run, it should all be chill and just won't print anything. But it doesn't scream at me. Lovely. Cool. So we now we're going to say string column equals dot get key, entry dot get key, and we're going to say string value equals entry dot get value. Sick. And I guess we need to say object. Cool. Now what we're going to say is we're going to say row value. We're going to say string, or we're going to say object, I guess. And we're going to say row value equals map dot get, and we want add column, and we're going to call this column name. And we're going to say utils.pp row value. I'm going to be very curious what happens once we get to apply view, sick. And we're going to say if value dot equals, I'm going to say row value. That's where we're going to say, sorry. So we're going to be here and we're asking like, yo, should we include this line, yes or no? And we're going to say boolean line matches, or boolean add record equals true. And then we're going to say if it doesn't equal, we're going to say add record equals false. And then down here, because we only want to invalidate it, we're going to say, sorry, my bad, we're going to say if add record, guess what, record.add. Sick. And now we're going to have a response here. We're going to say our response is that equals, and we're going to call it response. I'm going to say utils.pp response. And what do you not like? My response here is, oh yeah, it's a list of a map of a thing, of that. Cool. Let's run this. Didn't like it, but no problem. Okay. value dot equals row value, and I assume it's because of some sort of memory comparison. We're going to remove this and leave record as true always, and we should get all of our results. Yeah, we get all of our results. And I think it's because we're doing an object. When we insert, no, it was an object. What if we say value toString dot toString? How is this not screaming at me? Shouldn't it be like, bro, what are you doing? That's a very interesting. Okay, and it failed again. Oh, I need to plug my laptop in. 2 seconds, and I'm gonna use the restroom. I'm gonna mute. All right, we're back. Okay. What if we do the negation? I'm curious, everything works here. That's kind of interesting. If value equals, then we set it to false. Yeah. Okay, so something is strange here. I'm gonna say utils.pp, and we're gonna say rowval equals row value, and then we're gonna say plus. We've got our little friend, and then we're gonna say val is plus value. We're gonna add back the negation. We're gonna run. So, oh, interesting. I think I got it wrong. Row value is, yeah, I messed that up. Look, ha. So it's row value is view, and I call nice. So actually, I think the code was correct. It's just I was a dumbass. And now we only have 3 records where type is home and apply is missing. And now if we ask apply and run this, we're only going to have 2 records. 2 records, both of them are which are apply. Holy shit, that works. Now, what I'm curious about is, let's remove the whole toString thing and confirm that this still works. I'm going to say object and object, but I feel like using object is a bit of a hack, because we have this compiled language and we're just like, ooh, you could be anything. You could be anything you want to be. Okay, so that works. Yeah, I guess I'll fix all of this shit afterwards. And last question I have is we're going to insert a record called apply where the value, we're going to insert this record where the value is going to be 15. Let's run that. Cool. So we should have this guy now where value is 15. Now we're not going to insert any records, we're just going to read. And I want to read where it's that and where price is 15. Filters. Cool. What happens when we run this? We get our one line. Sick. That's fucking dope, if I'm honest. This achieved a lot more than I thought was going to be achieved. Sick. So, this is our NoSQL where you can kind of just dump whatever you want into it. And then it's line by line, and then you can extract when you need it. I'm genuinely surprised how much I was able to get done. We're not using array lists here, but maybe we are. So this is for our insert in case we want. And I feel like I should just move this to tests. I feel like I should move this to tests, but I'll do this afterwards. This is to read, this is to write. We're not going to have any sort of functionality to delete. I'll test afterwards for what happens if you try this on a table that doesn't exist. But the NoSQL part is kind of done, which is shocking to me. I think I'm going to do a little bit on the actual... No, I think I'm going to cut the stream here and then focus on the SQL functionality on the next stream. Get a little bit of food, and then we're going to be building the SQL functionality. Thank you for my one viewer. I will be back in a little bit. Cheers.